Hello and thank you for tuning into this video. If you're watching this, I assume you probably saw a couple of my other ones concerning the financing options available to you through Wettermann Homes in the East Orlando area right now. It is May 8th. It is Friday, May 8th, 2020, and this information is current as of that date. We have two financing options available to you, and because one is construction to permanent financing, the other is builder financing. These sound quite a bit alike, so I'm actually making another video to go through the similarities, the differences, and how each of these may fit or not fit. So I'm going to have a little presentation and I will go through some of the details. These are included in the buyer guide, which I will also link to this video. It is available as a free PDF download. If you are interested at all in building in the East Orlando area with Wettermann Homes, please download it and let us know if you have any more questions or would like to schedule a consultation. But that being said, I'm actually just going to go into the presentation and help you understand how these two types of financing work. So here we are. My name is Emily Boyle. I am with the Stockworth Realty Group. I focus primarily in East Orlando in the Lake Nona area. I'm also working directly with Wettermann Homes, who this presentation is for. I am helping them consult buyers for their expansion into the East Orlando area, mainly Wedgefield, but they also have models available for Saintcloud and Lake Nona areas. But I've noticed since consulting buyers that some of the biggest questions surround the financing of new construction. So that being said, I'm going to move on to our next slide and talk about these two types of financing that are available with Wettermann Homes right now. Alright, so I start out with just a quick overview of these two types of financing, and the main difference is the construction to permanent loan. The buyer is actually obtaining the construction financing themselves, and the builder financing means that the builder is going to use their own construction financing to cover the cost of the lot if needed and the construction of the home. So when you have construction to permanent, this is going to be a simple single close construction loan that is available through our approved local lender, Waterstone Mortgage. And when you do builder financing, Wettermann Homes is going to cover everything. So the buyer, all you need is your builder deposit and a pre-approval for whatever traditional mortgage or end loan you're choosing. So here I'm going to go a little bit deeper into the construction to permanent loan that is available through Wettermann Homes partner lender, Waterstone Mortgage. Similar to the way a lender will qualify a buyer before lending to them, the lender also will qualify the builder for construction to permanent lending. So they have already been approved and are ready to go with the buyers that we have in East Orlando. And they have a great program. This is a single loan closed construction program for new construction buyers. It really helps streamline the process of building the home and securing permanent financing at the same time. You just have one loan that's going to cover the cost of your lot, your construction, and then it actually converts into a traditional mortgage product of your choice at the end once the construction is complete. So here we get to look at some of the exciting specifics of the construction loan. You only have to have 5% down for the Waterstone construction to permanent financing. This is really exciting and really opens up this opportunity to a lot more people who maybe were going for one of the lower down payment conventional loans or your FHA. And this can actually convert to any one of those loan programs once the loan goes into its permanent stage. The other thing is, in the construction phase, you are only going to be making interest only payments, and that is on the outstanding loan balance. So what the contractor has already received, they've already paid out to them. You will be paying interest only on that amount until the home is complete and it's converted into your permanent end loan. So here we have the general process for the construction to permanent loan, and one of the main differences between this and builder financing is actually where the buyer's closing occurs. Because with construction to permanent, they actually are closing before construction begins, and you will see how that differs from builder financing shortly. But in this case, the buyer is going to start out much like they would with any other type of financing. They're going to get their pre-approval, and then they're going to have their builder acceptance. They're going to have a contract with the builder, and they will then submit their formal mortgage application, whatever documentation that the lender needs to get them into underwriting and get them that final approval. Once they have that, they're going to have their one-time closing. So this is where everything kind of comes together. They are purchasing the lot if necessary. They're covering their construction costs. This is a one-time thing, and then the construction actually begins. Once the construction is done, they're going to perform final inspections, and they're going to receive the certificate of occupancy, or the CO. And once they have that, the loan is automatically going to convert into its permanent stage, and it's going to take on the terms of that program, whichever one the buyer has chosen. All right, and we are ready to move on to our builder financing portion of the presentation. As I mentioned before, Wettermann Homes is able to actually finance the construction and the purchase of your lot if that's needed. And I'm going to go over what this entails and why it might be good for you or not so good for you. So Wettermann Homes can finance the construction for qualified buyers with that 25% minimum deposit. In this case, the buyer does not need to apply for construction financing at all, or if they have tried and they didn't quite meet the qualification standards for construction financing, this could be an option for those buyers. The only requirements for them up front would be that 25% deposit with the builder, and they have to show that they have been pre-approved for a traditional mortgage of some kind. There are naturally some considerations to take into account with builder financing. Naturally, if you do not have or do not feel comfortable with at least 25% down, then this is going to rule it out right off the bat. However, if you were already coming in with more cash or a larger down payment, and you kind of want to weigh these out and see which one is best for your situation, I do encourage you to do so, because there are pros and cons to each, which I can go through in more detail if you give me a call, and we can also get in touch with the lenders we work with to kind of run numbers if you want to do a side-by-side comparison. So now we are returning to my lovely little schematic here outlining the process for now builder financing. And as I mentioned before, the main difference, or one of the differences, is where the buyer's closing occurs. Because with construction to perm, the buyer's closing happens before construction begins. With builder financing, the buyer's closing is going to happen after construction is complete. So as you see, we're going to start out with the buyer pre-approval, but they're going to just show that to the builder. The builder is going to create an agreement. They're going to sign a contract telling them what they're going to build for them, what price, and then the buyer is going to give the deposit to the builder. They're going to do lot analysis and the appraisal. The builder is going to obtain their financing. They're going to close on that lot and then begin construction on it. Now, as the builder is constructing the home, it's important to point out that the builder technically at this point does own the lot, and they are obtaining their own financing to construct it. But as that home is finished up and gets its final inspection, it's been built to the buyer's standards and as agreed, they get the CO, and then the buyer has their closing. Here is step 7 on the diagram. The buyer is purchasing the home from the builder as agreed, and they're going to be using whatever end loan or mortgage that they have chosen at that point. It's important to point out really that this closing looks a lot like a regular purchase for the buyer. They only have to obtain that pre-approval for their traditional mortgage at the beginning, and then they get the loan approval there towards the end once the home is complete. and they're having a regular closing, or they're buying a home that's move-in ready. So if you made it this far, I'm very impressed, and you obviously are really trying to educate yourself on either or both of these options. And that being said, I just want to open up to questions. You can call me anytime at the number you see on the screen, and we can talk about any of these things, because there is a lot that I'm not able to go over in a 10-minute presentation. So we're also conducting virtual video consultations with the builder, and so if you're interested in that or ready to move forward, definitely give me a call and we'll get you scheduled. I also encourage you to download our full updated buyer guide. This is Build Your New Home in 2020 with Wettermann Homes, and you can find that by clicking the link in the description. It is an instant download. It's a PDF, and it was going to contain all of this information that I just went over. Again, please don't hesitate to reach out to me personally if you have any questions. I am so happy to help. If you are curious about different floor plans that Wettermann Homes has for this area, I'm happy to get you anything you need and help you feel comfortable with this process. Again, thank you so much, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. I'm trying to grow, so feedback and comments are always very much appreciated. I want to know how I can make this better for you and give you the information you really need.